People online love saying the first 100,000 takes the longest. Sometimes 7 years, sometimes more.
And to be completely transparent with you guys, she did not start from absolute zero last year. There were some old savings and a very messy history of buying random individual stocks.
But my money wasn't actually growing. I was totally stuck. Then, about a year ago, I stopped guessing and finally built a fully automated system.
And that is when the math exploded. You collapsed the timeline!
Because the momentum shifted so fast, I started getting curious. Is the first 100,000 actually life-changing, or is it just internet hype?
Today, we are breaking down the exact math. We are going to show you why crossing that six-figure line changes everything, and exactly how an automated system pushes you over the finish line. Quick reminder, this is our personal experience for educational purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own research. Let's get into it.
Why does everyone obsess over the $100,000 mark? Why not 50,000?
Because 100,000 is where your money starts working harder than you do. When you start from zero, every single dollar of growth comes from your own paycheck. You are doing all the heavy lifting yourself.
It is exhausting.
Exactly. But let's look at the actual math. A globally diversified stock portfolio is often assumed to return around 6 to 7% per year over the long term. Not guaranteed, but useful for simple math.
So at $100,000,
your portfolio could be generating roughly $7,000 a year in compound growth. Not every year, markets go up and down, but over the long term, that is the idea.
that is close to a full TFSA contribution limit, just sitting there.
On average, over the long term, that is like having an invisible employee who works around the clock and pays you $7,000 a year.
And that is why the second 100,000 comes so much faster.
Exactly. The math accelerates because the returns are now large enough to actually matter.
When I started learning about investing, almost everything I found on YouTube was American. And there is some Canadian content out there, but not nearly enough for someone starting from zero.
Which is exactly why this channel exists. Because the accounts are different, the rules are different, and the math is different.
Because compound interest inside the Canadian TFSA is genuinely better than most people assume.
Inside a TFSA, that growth your portfolio generates every year is completely tax-free, not tax-deferred, not you will pay when you withdraw. CRA does not touch it.
Compare that to investing in a regular, non-registered account.
In a non-registered account, dividends and distributions can be taxed along the way, and capital gains are taxed when you sell. So the same investment compounds less efficiently than it would inside a TFSA.
Same ETF, same returns, but you keep more inside the TFSA.
Every dollar you keep compounds on itself. For many Canadians, using your TFSA well is one of the most powerful first moves you can make.
Okay, we need to talk about how people actually get to this number. Because if I hear one more YouTuber tell me to stop buying coffee to get rich, I am going to lose my mind.
The famous latte factor. The idea that a $5 coffee is the only thing standing between you and $100,000.
I train baristas for a living. I know exactly how much coffee costs. And I know how much people drink. And I am telling you right now, skipping your morning coffee is not how you build a six-figure portfolio.
Let's run the math. If you cut out a $5 coffee every single day, you save about $1,800 a year.
$1,800 does not change your life. It doesn't pay rent in Toronto, it doesn't buy a house, and it definitely doesn't get you to $100,000 anytime soon. It just makes you miserable and tired.
The problem with the Latte Factor is that it focuses all your energy on the smallest possible variable. You are fighting a daily psychological battle over $5 while completely ignoring the massive systems that actually build wealth.
Let's be honest. Even with a good system, if my money makes $7,000 a year, I still have to go to work.
Yes, and this is the biggest lie on Finance YouTube. Hitting $100,000 does not mean you quit your job, buy a Tesla, or move to a beach.
Especially with the cost of living right now.
Your day-to-day life looks exactly the same. You still take the subway, you still pay your bills, you still order takeout when you are exhausted after a long shift.
So what actually changes?
The panic disappears. When you have 6 figures invested behind you, a random car repair or a scary email from your boss does not ruin your week. You have options. The real change is not in your lifestyle. It is in your nervous system.
That is the thing nobody says out loud.
Because peace of mind is hard to put in a clickbait thumbnail, but it is the most valuable thing money buys.
This is why I refuse to use a budget spreadsheet. Most people think you have to be hyper-disciplined to hit this milestone.
They track every single penny. They rely on willpower to manually move money into their investment accounts at the end of the month.
Willpower is a scam. If I have to make a conscious choice to invest my money after a 10-hour shift, it is not going to happen. I am going to buy sushi instead.
Which is why she treats her finances like an automated system, not discipline, an algorithm.
I set a floor in my checking account, a minimum balance I need to feel safe. Every time a paycheck comes in and pushes me above that floor, the extra money automatically sweeps into my TFSA.
The investing happens before you even have the chance to spend it. It takes exactly 0 willpower. Then you live your life on what is left. No guilt, no spreadsheet, no tracking.
Takeout and coffee included.
$100,000 comes from a good system, not from suffering.
So, is the first 100,000 actually life-changing?
The math says yes, not because of magic, because that is the point where your returns finally become visible as real money. And inside a TFSA, you keep every dollar of it.
And it is not about being perfect. I still buy takeout. I still order coffee. I have no idea what I spent on food this month.
The system does not care. It just works. Every paycheck, the floor holds, the sweep happens, and the number keeps climbing.
That is what nobody tells you when you are starting out. You do not need to be disciplined. You do not need a spreadsheet. You just need one number and one rule.
Set the floor. Sweep the overage. Let the TFSA do the rest.
I am not going to tell you exactly how much is in my portfolio right now, but I am close. And when I cross that line, we are making a video.
You will see the actual numbers, the real math, and exactly how the system got her there. Hit subscribe so you are here when it happens. And while you wait, click the video on screen to understand how to think about what goes inside that TFSA. And if you are still paying fees to a robo-advisor, that video is there too. We will see you in the next one.